sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Because the king of violence told you to do so. Show some love to the Overdogs Podcast, baby.
I fought for free UFC 13. I was the only UFC fighter in UFC career to ever fight for free. So I fought for free, fought twice in one night, and I was hooked, man. Hook, line, sinker. I was like, all right, I'm gonna become a world champion in this. And a year and a half later, became the world champ.
You and Chuck had one of the best rivalries of all time.
Me and Chuck were supposed to fight each other, and I said, you know what, if we're gonna fight each other, let's get paid huge money. We were friends, but the UFC turned us against us. And that rivalry, I think that was just fabricated to how the UFC wanted to portray me as the bad guy and Chuck as the good guy. To me, money is not worth a friendship and a family attitude towards each other. That just shows that he's a sellout, man. And it is what it is. I don't know. That guy's all mouth, man. All mouth. No, he hasn't shown shit.
So you're not watching his fight?
Yeah, I want to see if Anderson can do what he did to me. Fucking knock that guy unconscious.
Tito is one of the only fighters in history to get a fight with Mr. Dana White, but then that didn't happen. We were all looking forward to watching you box Dana White.
Yeah, you know, I gotta kind of watch my words here because Dana's a very powerful man, so I gotta kind of watch how I dance around this. But to be strictly honest and truthful, it's
we're back with Overdogs Podcast. We're here. We're talking shit all over the world, and we're backing it up with my bare knuckle fists all over your faces. What's up, Ice Bags? How you doing, brother? How's everything in the business world?
Everything's good, man. Busy. I know you've been kind of hearing, you've been involved behind the scenes a little bit. Busy, but yeah, everything's good. I can't complain.
Nice shirt. I just saw your shirt.
Thank you, brother.
A Trumpski.
Anything going on in your life of note? I saw you were out on the yacht with the fam.
Ooh, good stuff. Good chill day. I extended for a couple hours. It was beautiful ride, a beautiful trip, Speaking of which, because you know about the yacht stuff, do you ever tube behind the yacht?
Yeah, you
Does
can.
that work? You could do
100%.
that?
You can. Yeah. Some of them you have to get an extra bracket, right? So that the tube stays directly behind the boat instead of getting off to one of the sides. But other than that, you can do it. Yeah, it's not a problem.
Definitely want to.
Let me hop in here real quick. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've got John Jones signed gloves. We've got Ilya Taporia signed gloves. We'll be giving those away to one of our subscribers here, soon. So make sure you subscribe, comment, all the bullshit. Anything else going on, Mike? I mean, nothing exciting day by day?
Just a lot of people talking shit like they think they would do something if they saw me in person. That's kind of a same old story. I do, you know what, man? I try to ignore that stuff. I try to focus on those who support me and they believe in all the hard work I put in, because it's not easy just fucking having to go to the gym all the time or twice a day. And I know it doesn't sound that bad, but when I literally want to cry sometimes when I'm working out. And look at Matt coming in here with the 1950s TV apocalypse signal. And he looks like Woody from Toy Story.
Well, what's up, boys?
Oh, there you go. Now you look like Keith Brooks. Is that his name?
Keith Brooks. Garth Brooks?
Garth Brooks.
How dare you? Sorry, guys. I was fucking ready. The one time I'm literally ready, and then my fucking... Dude, I'm out of control. Sorry, guys. I am...
Damn, you're getting hit up over there, man.
I know,
Is that
bro.
me? No, that's you. Getting hit
me.
up. Josh was asking me what's going on out there, and I was like, just same old people talking shit, and I wish they would do it to my face, but they don't. So let me focus on those who be training with me and supporting me.
Well, why don't you do like Kevin Holland does? Remember, what was it last week? He said, if you want to talk shit, just come down here and I'll give you fucking 25 grand if you whoop my ass in the.
That was
in the gym.
Jamal. That was Jamal Hill.
Was it Jamal? I thought it was Kevin Holland.
I mean, Kevin Holland would probably do it.
I
He
think,
wouldn't
I,
even.
think he did
I feel like Jamal's not gonna pay him though. He's just doing that so that they'll show up to the gym and then he'll beat their ass and then they're going home empty-handed. It's not a bad idea.
You got to win to get the money, bro. Like some shit like
So
that.
I was just looking at the 303 card. I haven't really paid much attention to it. I know it's been just mostly drama with Connor and Chandler. But the rest of the card, yeah. But I saw Jamal was on there as the co-main. And I'm like, when did he get knocked out? Because it seems like it wasn't that long ago that Alex flatlined him.
That was it. That was when. Yeah, it was just recently.
But like, how long ago was that? Because I thought it was quick to see him coming back on a co-main.
For a champion to come back that quick after a KO. I mean, like Volkanovski is like one of the few that comes back that fast. But yeah, that was his last fight. That was a few months ago.
I feel like they be setting fighters up sometimes because with our ego, we're quick to be like, no, I want to come back. I want to make it right. A lot of times, when a guy is down bad, the best thing to do, they should take their freaking time and prepare everything properly. But then again, they can hold it over your head because they probably didn't pay you that much and you took that L and you're like, I want to fucking come back and try to win. And, we have this fighter's ego. But, did you guys see that Kai Cenat and Kevin Hart and Drewski sleepover? No, I was just saying because, like,
I saw clips of it.
They got like 700K live viewers at one point in time, and they were doing the adult sleepover, and then like they power washed billionaire Kevin Hart when he was the first one to fall asleep, so they poured water all over him, and they were just doing dumb shit in a room. But like that Kai Cenat guy gets paid a lot of money to do those live streams. I don't even see where that shit's at. It's not on YouTube. Where do you even watch those streams? They have these secret groups. Is it Reddit? Where the fuck do they watch that shit?
Look, no hate from my end. Do what you got to do, but I'm not going to watch fucking four men do a sleepover live on any platform.
But people are watching that shit, and I'm like, who? Why?
Unless it was you, Mike, because that DM you sent me on IG, I was like, whoa, what?
Well,
calm down, big fella. I almost took a screenshot and had Jazz pull it up on the show, but I decided not to.
I will say it's a privilege being homies with Mike Perry because he sends you some funny ass shit.
It is funny.
Oh man,
the one he sent me about Tito was the Tito like collage and stuff. I had tears in my eyes like watching it, man. It was so funny and an honor to have this dude on the fucking show today. Yeah. Hall of Fame legend, like it's great.
Yeah, first guy, not first guy, but he debuts in '97 at UFC 3. He becomes a champion from 2000, defends his belt 5 times until 2003. Real champion, man, real legend, and he's become quite the political advocate. I'm rooting for Tito, man. Ever since I saw Jet Li punch on him in Cradle to the Grave 2, Tito didn't even flinch. I got to ask him about that, man. What's Jet Li like? Jet Li's got some of my favorite all-time movies. I was talking to Jazz about it, and I said, damn, if you're a pro fighter, they just want you to get beat up in a movie. They're like, we'll pay you and put you in a movie, but you got to lose. That's fucked up, bro.
Like GSP in Captain America Winter Soldier, bro. Literally, fucking, he fought Captain America. Yeah, Captain America versus Captain Canada, essentially, bro.
Mike Tyson fought in Ip Man, one of the Ip Man 3 or something like that.
Yeah, that was really good though.
It was a banger. It was a banger.
And he didn't have to lose. It was like it was kind of like a draw. They kind of just stopped fighting and gave each other respect.
Yeah, and Ip Man to me is probably the best series of kung fu movies ever.
Definitely love it. I mean, there's so many, bro. Ung Bak, the Thai Warrior, and when I was looking for the Tito scene earlier, seeing Romeo Must Die or Unleashed, like they got some good scenes in there. I was supposed to do a movie this year. I signed a contract. I don't know what the hell happened to that.
You and John, right? I remember that, and then I didn't hear anything else about it.
Yeah, I guess I'm too busy fighting.
You and John get punched in the face for your cameo and head out.
But Mike, you're right. That's what they always do with the UFC fighters that go to movies, like because it like validates the actor, bro. Like the fucking whole like Conor McGregor movie with Roadhouse,
I mean, his fight scene was really good with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Was it? I haven't watched the
was
movie
good.
yet.
You didn't see it?
No.
Oh, it's so bad you have to watch it.
But like,
it's not. It was good. It was really good.
I heard what Mike's saying. Like, I heard it was like if you go into it not thinking it's fucking a classic, you just have fun watching it. So I'll take your word for it. I'll give it a shot. Yeah.
It's a Roadhouse remake with fucking Conor McGregor, right? Like it is what it is, but it's entertaining for sure. You got to watch it.
Yeah. Okay. Will do. I had to watch the first one.
Connor's always coming around the corner all jacked to the fucking gills. It's hilarious.
I've used that meme where he walks out.
It's funny.
Is everyone? Yeah. All right. Hell yeah.
I heard some recent news. Not to bring up old news. I know everyone's kind of over the Diddy thing, but I saw something about Kim Kardashian had tons of tapes or something that were maybe allegedly found in Diddy's house that were blackmail to all the men that Diddy. Apparently Kim had all these blackmail tapes on all these guys, these entertainers or whatever. That's how she got in the position that she's in. She blackmailed a bunch of people.
Mike, where do you get this information? I feel like every episode you're sliding further down towards the Bryce Mitchell side of things on the conspiracies.
Bro,
that's not that deep. That's not that deep of a fucking conspiracy. I believe that one.
I just be scrolling. And that's the thing too, right? About belief. It's hard because these rich and famous and powerful people, like the internet will take any name, Beyonce or Kim K or Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady's pretty clean, isn't he?
Dude, fuck yeah. What, he beat your favorite team? Like,
but they take these people and they just say the most outlandish things about them, and then all the poor people on the internet just run with it, and they're like, yes, this rich person is a piece of crap.
Yeah, he signed a deal with the devil and Kim Kardashian. Yeah, like it's the only reason I'm not successful
Oprah's
like
now
that.
Trafficking children, like if you just stick it on the internet, man, and 10 fucking people believe it, and they spin it out, and then 10 more people believe it, like.
Dude, it's absolutely.
We're in the business of clickbait, though. I'm here 100%. For it.
No,
go ahead and click on it, and we'll become one of those rich people that you can hate on.
Look, that's where we've gone as a society, right? Like with media in general, just like people have the span of a goldfish. You know, if it's over like 30 seconds, it's they don't even stick around to see it. So the more outlandish you can make shit in the first 15 seconds, the more viral it's going to go.
I'll give you an actual quote from a Meta, Instagram, and Facebook rep. We had a meeting with them. Like, they obviously want people to brew. Since I work in the social media field, we had like a meeting with them. They'll help their creators like with their algorithm and how their distribution works. And so they'll work with creators. We had a meeting with them one time for Karate Combat, and the dude straight up said, doesn't have anything to do with likes. And this kind of goes to Twitter as well. It doesn't have anything to do with likes or follows anymore. It's the first 5 seconds of a video. It's retention time. So if you've ever been scrolling, you're like, I hate this shit. Like if you one of the people that hate like
that was boring, dying. Mac. Speaking of Karate Combat,
no, real quick.
Combat, there is a show coming up in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
And I might go to that by myself just to be a fighter in there and not be on a date with my wife. I usually take my wife on dates to the fights, but I want to go. I'm getting hungry for some violence.
You want to kick it with your boy?
Here in Orlando, and I said that I'd shout out the local fight scene, so that's going to be good. I'm probably going to go check that out. Are you going to be there, Mac?
Yeah, I'll be working. So I'll just be like, bro, Mike's going to stand next to me, pit side.
Word. And it'll be easier if I'm in there dolly like that.
What's the date on that, Mac? I might slide over.
June
28.
28. Yep.
Yeah, it's in a couple 28.
Weeks.
You know what?
I haven't got a party with Mike in O-Town yet, so.
And Real quick, I have a story because the other day at the gym, right, I was lifting weights and this guy comes over to me, oh Mike or whatever, and he's like, man, can I have a picture? And I was like, yeah, that's fine, bro. Like I was still racking my weights and putting stuff on. I was doing squats and I'm with my wife, and then the guy, I said, yeah, bro, you can take the picture, bro. And then he pulls out his phone and he kind of walks over like a step or two towards my wife and goes, can you take the picture? Can you take a picture for me? And I instantly was like, nah, you can't have the picture no more. Go back to your fucking workout and leave us the fuck alone. And like, he's like, oh, are you serious? And he like taps my chest, and I was like, I will fuck you up right now, bitch. Don't fucking play with me. And like, he was confused, but like, I was confused as how you thought you was gonna ask my wife to take a picture for you. Don't fucking ask my wife to do nothing for you.
That is kind of weird. I remember when I asked Ben Rothwell for a picture when I saw him, I was like reaching out because he had
take a fucking selfie. Be a man.
Yeah, I was like this. He was like, no, she'll take it. And I was like, oh, okay. But like, I wasn't going to say like, hey, bitch, can you take this? Like, what the fuck? I don't know.
Nah,
that's a little bit
bro.
ballsy. That's ballsy.
I don't do that shit.
I feel like y'all are both like overreading the situation.
No, I didn't read that much into it. I just didn't ask her.
No, my wife isn't a fucking just gonna sit out here taking pictures for me all day of all these dudes that come up and ask, can I have a picture? Every time someone asks me for a picture, I'm cool with it. As soon as they try to ask my wife to fucking do it, I'm like, that's it. You're done. You're not, I don't care. Fuck the picture anyways. Who cared about a fucking picture with me? I don't give a fuck about it. No one's really gonna care. They never post them or tag me or put it on social media anyways. Are they fucking yanking it at the crib when they, I took a picture with Mike?
Probably.
What if they are?
Half of them.
That's great for me, but my wife didn't take it. My wife didn't take that fucking picture.
Yeah, take your own like masturbation picture.
All right, but hang on. Mike, as your popularity is continuing to grow and will continue to grow for the foreseeable future, like people look up to you, right? Especially like fight fans. And they just look, they don't have to tag you on social media. Sometimes they're just like, yo, I want to have this memory and be like, yo, so they can sit around drunk at the bar with their boys and be like, yeah, I ran into Mike Perry. Like it's like a cool moment. You know what I mean?
That's sick. Yes, but my wife is not taking the picture for you. When you catch me and I'm with my cameraman would love to do it. Or if you have someone with you that would do it, or I'll take the fucking selfie.
Right.
Don't ask my wife. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there you go.
No, I think that's fair.
Simple rule to follow, everybody.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and that's why I said the Ben Rothwell story. Like, it didn't even cross my mind. Like, hey, can you
Josh
get this
is
picture?
like, I wish I would fucking see a famous person, and I ask their wife to take a fucking picture, and they yell at me and say, "Oh, you ain't getting the fucking picture now." Josh is like, shit, fuck that.
Get that fucking picture. I'd be like, I'll go on video like that.
That'd be great. That'd be fucking fantastic. Cause then that video's going viral. Cause I'm gonna karate chop your ass as soon as you do it.
You're gonna think he's taking a selfie, but he's really just taking like a live video of him doing the nom 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 the TikTok video.
Here's his wife too.
Okay, so let me start the podcast by saying there was a natural disaster the other day. I was driving. I'm kidding.
You can't go 20 minutes in and you say, "Let me start."
Yes, I can. I just did.
All right, quick one. Do we think Connor and Chandler is on at this point?
Yes, I called it.
We're far enough in it, right? Without a.
He never pulls out, man. He never pulls out. Like, this is something that got traction on social media, much like some news that dropped yesterday that I don't know if you guys can comment on. But, it's something that got traction. A nothing burger. It was one of those vegan burgers, bro. But yeah, I think Connor just straight up said, fuck it, I don't want to do that fucking shit. He's going to get paid if he shows up to fight, not to go to the press conference. Yeah, I don't think he gives a fuck. I think he literally just, I don't give a fuck.
Did you see Morning Combat's take on it? Luke I think it's
Luke Thomas. That's Luke Thomas.
He said, I think Connor saw the numbers and he's like, hold on. We need to reestablish. We need to do something else here, and because you guys had a nothing burger over here, and if I'm gonna do anything, you need to give me more of it. Otherwise, why else would the UFC not have said anything about this? But I mean, they get everyone talking regardless.
That's an interesting take, Mike, because I talked to somebody that's very close to you and I last week, and that was kind of their feel on it as well. Was like, I really don't think it's an injury. I feel like it's Conor's going away party most likely, and he's probably just looking at the numbers and knows he has him by the balls, and then maybe it was stalled out because, you know, Dana got pissed off or whatever when they came back with a different number, and that's kind of what stalled things out. That was his take on it as well, versus a potential injury.
Well, and if you think about it, it's literally brilliant marketing. Like, have a theory about the UFC posters they've been putting out. They're always shit. And, like, I don't give a fuck what a fight poster looks like, but the fans get all pissed. And those pictures of, like, the Aspinall card coming up, it went viral, the poster, because it's so dog shit. I swear the UFC does that on purpose because they know people are going to share it saying how shitty it is.
Right? There'll be 16 different posters posted on social media, and then there's one poster that makes it that all the fighters sign.
Yeah,
card.
But the UFC will put out, like, purposely, I think, shitty ones where people are sharing it like, this is dog shit, but we're still going to watch the fights. Man.
That's what they do with Joe Biden. He's so fucking special that when they post a clip of him and he's like, that everyone shares it, and that's how they get him traction. Everyone thinks it's funny, but then you're sharing this idiot, and then he becomes the leader of the free world. Stop sharing the stupidity.
I'm guilty of that yesterday. I made a
Hard
meme.
not to.
I know.
Right? You're talking about it right now.
It's hard.
Let's talk about the behind the scenes stuff that UFC's been putting out. Like, I love it, right? I'll just say one of the clips I was like, holy shit, was them kind of like pinning Aljo into that fight, right?
Oh, with Hunter Campbell?
I thought it was just super interesting to see. And Mike, you and I have talked about this. We talked about this a few weeks ago, right? Like, there's an appetite out there amongst fight fans to see behind the scenes inner workings of a fight league and what's going on. And I think it's been very advantageous for them to show some of this stuff, and I'm sure they're going to show more. Are they doing this on Netflix? Are they producing it themselves and hosting it on UFC, or what are they doing there, Mac?
Wait, for what?
With the docuseries that they've been putting out. With all the behind the scenes clips.
I think that's on Fight Pass. I've been
I
hearing
didn't
about
see
that.
the Aljo one. I saw the one with John making Stipe in the truck with Hunter Campbell.
Yeah.
They made
So they had Hunter breaking into John where he had his pec torn. And then he was going to be out for 6 months. That was a good one. But go watch the Aljo clip. Like, they pretty much pin him into fighting Sean O'Malley when he's like, I'm not ready to fight. And the way his like, Mike, you'll appreciate this. The way his manager just sat there like a fucking moron and didn't even speak up one time during the meeting. I was just like, holy shit, Aljo, you might want to be looking for new management, bro.
He just wants that percentage cut, dude. Get in there and fight, or he doesn't get paid. Some managers, I don't know who his manager is, but
I think some managers are just scared of Dana and the machine, right? Like, if that's your bread and butter.
Yeah, if you blow up your connection to, like, the big cheese.
Right, because Aljo's not your own fighter. Your only fighter. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that's your bread and butter. You're scared to talk back, but like at the same time, if you're a fighter and you're going to be represented, right? Like Mike knows this. Those guys have to go to bat for you behind the scenes. They, and I'll shout out. I'm just going to shout out it right now. Malky, Abe, Primo, the first round team. Those guys fucking go to bat. They go find deals and they fucking negotiate them, right? So props.
As a fighter, I've crossed a plane where it's like, I would not ever say that I'm just not ready, and I make sure that I keep my mind fresh, and I'm like, at any time someone can try and come for the crown, and I cannot not oblige. Like, I must show true violence and at all times. So that's just kind of been my mindset since I've left the UFC.
But to counterpoint that just a little bit, Mike, is you want to fight anybody anytime, right? Mm-hmm. But that may not be in your best interest long term, right? That whatever fight that may be. So you got to have somebody in your corner that says, Mike, this isn't the time. Excuse me. This isn't the time or the place. Like, there's a bigger bag around the corner or whatever it may be. Yeah, Jazz, play this video.
On the same page, which is you don't want to fight Aljo. You don't have to fight. I'm not forcing you to fight. So you got to decide what you want to do. And whatever you decide, I'm cool with.
So I guess where I sit is it kind of puts me in a bad light where it's like this guy can't get out of his own way and he kind of ruining things. And I'm like, I don't get that thought process of doing that to someone who's always done whatever was asked for him to do.
But I can tell you, you're at your peak. You've looked incredible. And it's just this opportunity for you to take his audience that he has built in and introduce you to them. But instead of using the platform and the increased media coverage, it's almost like you're working against it.
I see your point 100%. I just still feel, like you said, the communication out of the gate was kind of like, it was a little blindsided. You know what I mean? Like I literally just fought and David made the fight right then and there. I know it's a big opportunity. My only thing, like I said, from the very beginning was, damn, I just wish we had a conversation. That was it.
All right, my man.
All right. Good talk
this week.
Fighters can be very paranoid people. They start thinking, well, they want me to lose. They want him to win. They don't want me to win. They're trying to force this and push this on us so that we don't decide who wins and loses.
They definitely do.
I just feel like you have to make them uncomfortable if you're thinking something like that. You got to be so damn okay with it. You got to be ready for that shit at all times. King of violence.
But, right, like I'm sitting here watching, you can see it in Aljo's face, right? When who was it, Hunter, responds to him and tries to like coax him into it, right? Tries to change his way of thinking. And Aljo's face is like, he's not buying it. But then his manager, and no offense to Tiki, I don't know the guy at all. I don't know anything about him. But he just sat there, right? Like he should have spoken up and been like, "Hey."
They edited it that way too. They edited it that way too.
No, and that's true. There could have been something else said, but I don't know why they would edit it to make it look like they coaxed him into it, right? Versus a debate. I don't know why they would edit it that way. I don't know.
I'll say this with Aljo, it is one of the, we really enjoyed the podcast we did with him on here. Like, he's a great fucking guy. You can see it reflecting right there. Like, he's not sitting there fucking throwing a fit. He's just speaking his mind. But he was one of the worst treated champs of all time. And the UFC knows when that's happening. Like, if you think the UFC didn't want Sean O'Malley to, like, beat Aljo that first fight, you're tripping. Like, so Dana cannot force the commissions to fix fights or do anything like that. That's ran through the commission. But they absolutely schedule fights in the hopes that someone wins because it's someone's more marketable. And I think Aljo, he's not paranoid. He knew that. Like, so Dana's sitting there saying
you have to be able to take all the pressure. They can make it sound as bad as they want, and it's your job as the fighter to take all the pressure on your shoulders, the weight of the world, and just control it and handle it like a boss and show up and fucking do what you need to do to be as great as you can be. There are fighters that lose and still win.
Yep.
Well, Mike, straight up, dude, this is why fighters like you so much, though. Like, this is why fighters idolize you, bro. Like, you are one of those people that's just like, fuck it, show up and get it done. Oh, yeah, hilarious, Bags. Cup the balls.
Come on,
but dude,
man.
Mike, that's why, bro.
Yo,
like, you cannot hold everyone to your standard because you are one of a kind, my friend. That's all I'm trying to say.
That right there, what he just did, I barely caught a glimpse of it, but they was doing that all over my post yesterday because I'm working on my neck muscles and shit, and they're like, gluck, gluck. I'm like, yeah, I'm sucking on the two lips, bitch, my wife's tulips, and whatever, bitch, my head game is immaculate. Yeah, on the clitoris. Fuck out of here. And that dick sucking joke is exactly why those pussies would never say shit to my face. I thought of Nate Diaz when he's like, dick sucker. Dick sucker.
Hey, how about them two? Does anybody have any interest in watching Masvidal and Nate Diaz box at this point? I saw they got in a big brawl. Right after the press conference. That was pretty good. But like
Nate Diaz, so they said they said Masvidal is like a hair puller, but like that guy had a cut and he had a Band-Aid and glasses on or something.
I don't
He
give
had
a
big
fuck.
cut
Him
on his
dragging
head.
that
He
dude
got
by
his
his
head.
hair was funny.
But
as
somebody
shit.
got his Trio 5 hat. Somebody got Masvidal's Trio 5 hat. These guys are trying to make some shit. Bunch of goofies, if you ask me. And then, Nate just keeps shutting down the press conferences. It's
Dude,
not... It's working though, right? He like shows up and he's like, "Fuck you, I'm leaving." And you're like,
did it? Like I didn't look at the numbers with him and Jake, right? But Jake was complaining the whole time, like, motherfucker, you got an opportunity now to make a bunch of money, right? But yet you refuse to market at all from your end. So I don't know what the numbers did on that. But
did Nate make 10 million or more from that fight?
Nah, no way.
Nah, a couple million probably.
That's what they said, though.
No way.
That's what they always say, bro.
They always say that shit, man. I think Ngannou probably got around like 7 or 8, and that was against.
And they
Tyson,
said
like,
20
in Saudi, right? So
and they
Saudi
said
money hits
20.
different. Nah, I think it was like 7 or 8 when it came down to it.
I don't know.
Bad.
It's not bad. It's definitely not
not
bad.
bad, dude.
But Joshua, fucking
Where the fuck is Tito
schooled him,
at?
bro? Yeah, where is he at?
Hey,
There he is. Let's go.
And I was at my restaurant. We had a lot of rain out here, so I had to go clean up a few things, getting the floors done there. So
No, hell
That's
yeah.
okay, man. That's a tough business. What's your restaurant called?
Tito's Cantina Tequila Bar and Grill here in Cape Coral, Florida.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta come. I gotta go, dude. We're going to Cape Coral. Shout out Donald Trump.
Yes, sir. America's legend, baby.
You are an American legend.
Absolutely.
All right. So I got to ask the question, because the restaurant business, Tito, is the only business that I've ever been involved in that ate me up and spit me the fuck out. It's a hard business, bro.
Well, good thing I fought for 25 years because it actually got me ready for this. It's actually easy.
wow.
It's actually not that hard. Fighting for 25 years, getting up every
I'm just a fucking
day of the
idiot.
week.
Thanks.
It's a big difference, But just as long as I do the hard work that I've done through my career, it's actually pretty easy. It's not too bad, and I got a good crew working with me, so helps out a lot.
Tito's Cantina. I'm coming, man.
I'm going to Florida in a couple of weeks. What's the best dish, Tito?
The fajitas, they're phenomenal. Gosh, what else? The coconut shrimp tacos, damn good. Of course, you go to the Poca Loca tacos for a steak. We marinate in a secret sauce. Really good. The carnitas are really good. It's authentic Mexican food, stuff you get in Southern California. We got it here in Florida now. There's not many places, and the ones that are, they don't have any atmosphere. Our place is beautiful on the inside. Built it out. Me and my partner, we built it ourselves, and actually the floors are being done right now. We're doing the epoxy, so floors look like they're on fire. Of course, one of my things.
Like the shorts. Like the shorts.
Like the
Exactly.
shorts. That's good.
Yeah. We have the Champions Corner. It has all 6 of my UFC world titles hanging on the wall. It looks pretty nice on the inside. You guys can check out at Tito's.Cantina on Instagram.
When did you move to the East Coast? Because I thought you were a California guy.
Yeah, I moved here about a year and 10 months ago now. So I've been here.
How you liking it?
I love it, man. It's nice to be back in America. It's kind of funny because I tell people when they're here, like, Tito, why'd you move here? And I said, for the community, for the safety. There's no homeless population. There's no crime. And yeah, there's petty crimes that happen from little young punk kids that do stupid shit. But, at the end of the day, the safety of my kids are my number one. The schools here are great. Of course, Florida, what DeSantis done with the non-woke agenda, it fits my conservative ideas. I want my kids to be raised in a good environment. And here in Florida, we're already going to move here a year and 9 months ago, but we weren't sure where to go. I came here after Hurricane Ian here in Cape Coral to help out. Raised over $150,000. We did generators and fuel for Matlacha, Pine Island, Northern Captiva, which are the small islands that got destroyed by the hurricane, to give them generators and fuel, and just watch the community come together the way they did. I was like, these are my type of people, because when things turn south, it's like, how do we help each other? They weren't looking for handouts from the government. They were like, we're going to make this happen. We're going to help our community, and everybody came together, and that's my type of people. So we moved here. This is home.
Mike and I both live here for the same reason, brother.
Yeah, I couldn't do Cali anymore, man. I lived there 47 years, in Huntington Beach my whole life. And, Huntington's a very conservative city, but just the state attacks nonstop. The schooling's indoctrinating the children. And, my kids are twin 15-year-olds. They just finished their freshman year in high school, and the schools there, I couldn't victimize my children anymore, man. And bringing them here, and the schools are pressing a totally different agenda. Their agenda is getting the growth in a family, nucleus family, and let the kids learn the right way, learning our history, learning what they can do after school and getting into college.
Girls, boys, I've got a 15-year-old daughter.
I got 3 boys. My oldest boy, Jacob, he's in Arizona State University. I got twin boys, Jesse and Journey, who actually are here with me.
Mike, before you go, let's jump into one segment real quick. We're going to do this, Tito. 10 conspiracy theories in 30 seconds. Yes or no answers only.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Nice.
Are lizard people real?
No.
Is Michelle Obama a man?
Yes.
Did we land on the moon?
No.
Is the earth flat?
No.
Did Biden poop his pants?
Yes. A few times.
Did the government kill Kennedy?
Yes.
Jay-Z and Beyonce are Illuminati.
Yes.
CIA started the AIDS epidemic.
100%.
The U.S. government did 9/11.
100%.
Dinosaurs never existed.
False.
Boom. There we go. 30 seconds, 10 conspiracies shot down or approved by Tito Ortiz. Mikey, jump in there, baby.
Yeah, my question was going to be, because you were Cali and now you're over here in Florida, what are your feelings and thoughts on that Second Amendment?
I'm all for it, man. You're able to protect yourself, or should be able to protect yourselves. That's what our forefathers wrote to us. Our Benjamin Franklin wrote the Constitution. Right to bear arms, the right to protect ourselves. And when you take away that right, people aren't able to protect themselves. And we're not doing it to kill people. We're doing it to protect ourselves, plain and simple. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. And that's plain and simple. And, how society is being run right now, it's mind-blowing that we're allowed to even let it happen. People need to wake the hell up and, protect this country, protect our Second Amendment. Even our First Amendment, man, that's even be taken away from. I had a social media, Tito Ortiz 1999 with over 400,000 followers, and they took it away from me because my conspiracy theories were spoiler alerts, and they didn't want to hear it.
It's funny how conspiracy theories always turn into conspiracy facts.
Right?
A few years later.
That's why I call them spoiler alerts, because I let people know before they're actually proven right.
I like that. So what got you into, at what point in your life did you get so heavy into the political side of it? Because I saw you with Carrie Lake, from Arizona the other day. What drove you to that, and what phase of your life was that you started going into it hard?
2016, when Trump ran for president, the presidency, I actually know Trump. I've known Trump since 2000. I actually worked on The Celebrity Apprentice with him, so I see what type of man he is, what type of businessman he is. We need a businessman to run this country. I seen his values as being a father. You look at how a person is as a father, just look at their children and see how successful they are, and you see how Don Jr. is, and how Eric Trump, Melania Trump, how just successful people they are. Or you can go on the opposite side of Biden, and you can see how his kids are. It's totally different, and night and day. And the proof's in the pudding if you want to show. 2020, I really got into it, into the politics a lot, because I ran for city council. I was mayor pro tem of Huntington Beach. I got the most votes in Huntington Beach history because of my conservative ideas and things I want to help to, protect Huntington Beach. And I wasn't a part of their agenda, so they canceled me. They tried to call me a white supremacist. I'm saying I was stealing from the government because of the PPE loan. I was doing a part-time job as being city council. And, it's really, I'm there for the public. I'm there for my constituents when I did it. And I'm not a politician, and that's what I came to learn. And when they attack me, I'm used to people attack me verbally. I'd get in the cage, I'd fight, and I'd fucking knock them out or choke them out. I get an opportunity to beat them down, or I lost. But in this is a totally different world. Seeing what they did to Trump, I had to back the guy because I knew what type of man he was. And what social media and MSM, mainstream media, was actually trying to portray him as, that's not the man that I know. And that's not the man that the world knew prior of running 2016. Everybody loved him. Actors, musicians, even the political parties on both sides, the Democratic Party, they all loved him. But until he ran as a Republican and ran for this country of making America great again, that's when they canceled him. That's when they just said that he was, racist and so forth. And it's all a facade, man. And people need to look through the bullshit. It's literally plain and simple. And you could, proofs in the pudding, as I said. You can see what's happening right now, what's happening to this country. And people need to step up. Like say Trump 2024. If that doesn't happen, this country's gone. It's being taken over. It's being overran by China. And that's my opinion. But opinions, people can look at the facts. That's what's happened in the last 3 years. The borders wide open, drugs are coming through, the sex trafficking that's going through the border is just being paid off by the cartel, and it's just crazy how our government could cave in. But you come to realize it's more bigger than all of us, and I think all of us coming together as one, as the United States has been brought together, is where it needs to come back again.
I'll just say this before you jump in, Mac. This segment right here will 100% get flagged by YouTube.
Yeah.
And it'll get stalled out. I guarantee you. I've seen it before. You got two guys wearing fucking Trump shirts talking about, politics. I promise you this will get flagged by YouTube and stalled out on views until we go back and have to fucking talk to YouTube and all this shit. It happens every fucking time. And that just goes back to your point of censorship and the First Amendment and everything else that goes into it. Like, go ahead, Mac.
Oh, well, okay, Tito. So obviously you're one of the most legendary, you're a huge Hall of Fame UFC fighter. You've moved into politics. I still see you, at some fight cards every once in a while and stuff. What would you say is your number one thing? You have the restaurant, you have politics, fighting still. Is fighting just in the past, or is your main focus politics now? Like, what are you up to, man?
Well, fighting's in the past to me. I competed for 25 years. I gave my heart and soul to mixed martial arts. And a kid coming from the streets that started wrestling as a freshman and just worked really, really hard to become a world champion after a year and a half of competition. Defending the world title 5 consecutive times, being a Hall of Fame UFC fighter, having my clothing business, Punishment Athletics. I had other businesses before 2020. I was almost up to 5, but the pandemic that happened canceled out a lot of them. And I'm trying to rebuild right now. Politics is not something I really want to get into because my kids are still in school and I want to be attacked. I'm not going to say I'm over it, but as of right now, that's in a stall tactic. Right now, it's just to kind of help the other people who are running for Senate, as Kerry Legg is running for Senate in Arizona, of course, helping our President Donald Trump and others that get in with the same conservative ideas to make America great again. That's important because right now, America is just in a downward spiral of just being lost. And I'm afraid of it because of my children. And people don't understand it when they don't have kids. Until you have kids, you understand what's at stake. And the future is what's at stake right now.
It's hard to see when we're living in Florida. It's hard to see what the rest of the country is going through because we're well protected over here with our governor and, just being one of the true red states that's not, Texas is a true red state, but it's right there on the border. So they got millions coming through. And what's crazy is it's not Mexicans coming through. No, it's a bunch of Indians or Muslim, everybody. Arab, or, I don't want to offend anybody, and welcome if you're here to work and join the American dream. We're here to thrive and make things better. But to take a less aggressive role where YouTube's not going to kick us off here. Let's talk about some old history. Tito is one of the only fighters in history to get a fight with Mr. Dana White, but then that didn't happen. We were all looking forward to watching you box Dana White. Can you talk a little bit about that and what happened?
Yeah, I got to kind of watch my words here because Dana's a very powerful man, so I got to kind of watch how I dance around this. But to be strictly honest and truthful, it's something that was never going to happen because Dana said that we couldn't do the contract that he agreed upon prior, saying 50-50 on any money that was ran from this revenue. And I agreed upon that. Then when they went through Spike TV, he said, no, we're not going to make any money out of this. I go, yeah, but what about all the sponsorships? He goes, well, that's something different. Not thinking I understand the business model because I understand the business model from the very beginning. That's why they tried to cancel me. That's why they tried to get me out and to make bad of me, put me in a bad limelight. And I get it. I understand it's business. But, I wasn't able to fight for my whole life. They have a business forever. I got to take care of my family. A kid coming from the streets that had nothing. I got to take care of my family. And I see guys like Conor right now, and mad respect to Conor for exploding and doing the things he's done in such a quick amount of time. And I respect the man. But I was just trying to do the same thing, but I was just a different era, I think. And I was taught by what Dana did, and that's to be a hard-nosed, guy when it came to negotiations. And that's what I learned from, because he negotiated the same way with SCG, the former owners of UFC. Mm-hmm. And when he negotiated with them with my contract for my fights, when he was my manager, he negotiated the same way. So that's the way I learned. So when I would negotiate with him, I was like, well, if you don't want to do it, then we're not going to do it. That's the way it is. So he thought I was turning my back on him. He thought I was biting the hand that feeds me. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to feed my kids, man. And I'm not doing anything for free. So that fight against Dana, I wasn't going to do it for free. And people say, well, you should do it for free. I was like, no. I have never fought one fight in my life for free unless it was in the schoolyard or in a park. I mean, growing up as a kid. But becoming a professional fighter, you got to get some type of revenue if they're going to build revenue. And that's what UFC did.
If you're gonna fight your boss, I mean, for fuck's sake, you should get paid.
Right? They were making money on it. Why couldn't I?
Yeah, didn't Dana weigh in? Dana weighed in.
So here's the story behind that. So it was probably about 3 weeks before the fight, and maybe about 3 weeks before the fight. And I said, are we gonna do this contract still? We're 50-50. He's like, well, Spike TV won't do it. We can't do this. I was like, well, I'm not fighting. I go, just do me one favor. Don't stand on the scale with the arms raised up going, yeah, I showed up Tito Ortiz a no-show. And that's exactly what he did. It boosted his name. It showed the community or the MMA community that Dana White's the man. He's not afraid of anybody. He's the king, badass of all. But it's all propaganda, man. And at the end of the day, it's behind me now. I'm okay with it, whatever. People always ask questions, why didn't you box Dana? And I just tell exactly what I told you guys. It just, I'm a businessman. At the end of the day, I got to take care of my children. I got to take care of my family. And I'm the only one. I don't got a rich mom. I don't got a rich dad. I take care of my mom. At the end of the day, I've learned just to be a hustling guy, to work hard and chase this American dream. And I've done it, and I'll continue to do it.
Do you still spar at all? Do you still do mixed martial arts? Do you train? Do you coach?
Well, actually, I do coach. I coach at our local high school, Ida Baker High School. I'm the head wrestling coach now. I started this last year. We had a winning record for the first time I think they've had in like 15 years. But I put those guys through Division I training in wrestling. As far as training myself, I haven't, just because I got in a car accident in 2022 of April, and it kind of messed my neck up. I just went to CPI in Tijuana, Mexico, and they took care of me 3 weeks ago. I'm going on 4 weeks on this Friday, where I got surgery that did stem cell injection into my neck, and I'm almost 100% recovered. I did my elbow and I did my neck, and my neck, actually, I've been able to sleep through the nights now. I have no pain, no achiness. My elbow, same situation, no pain, no achiness, and it was just a blessing in disguise. So I'm going to start lifting here pretty soon. I think on this coming Monday, I'm going to start doing lightweight training just to get my body back into shape. I never really got out of shape. I'm not in any fight shape, but my body has a fast reaction to get into shape just because I did it for so long. Trained from the age of 14, 15 when I started as a freshman until, 48. Yeah, no, actually 47. My body, the muscle memory is just, it happens really quick.
Shout out to the stem cell stuff.
Yeah, CPI. Phenomenal company.
It.
They're out of Tijuana, Mexico, and people think of Tijuana, Mexico as the air stinks like dirty trash. There's homeless everywhere. There's trash everywhere. It's not safe. The federalities mess with people. I just went there 3 weeks ago, and it looked like it got turned right side up. There's no homeless. There's no trash on the street. The air doesn't smell like burnt trash everywhere. There was no federales. All I saw was Naval and National Guard there. And every 3 streets, there was a truck or a pickup truck with 6 guys with M16s. And the people who live there are like, yeah, these guys keep the city safe now. I go, why is there not more trash here? He goes, because now actually the government has stepped forward and trying to make it safer here. Everybody who were poor and couldn't really live in that area got moved to San Diego. And when I was in San Diego, I seen it, man. It was just scary. Now the borders being open, that everybody who are poor and couldn't really survive are now surviving in the United States.
It's crazy because I lived in Mexico for 5 years in my early 20s, and I've driven all out. I know that I've driven more of that country than I have of the U.S. And yeah, it used to be pretty sketch, but like you said, it's like all the bad guys came to fucking California and New Mexico and Arizona now, and Mexico's like a fucking dreamland.
Yeah, and a lot of American money's going there too. Like I said, when I was there, we stayed at the Hyatt in Tijuana, and it was like I could literally close my eyes, open my eyes, I felt like I was in the States. Eating at the restaurants, 5-star restaurants right across the street from the Hyatt downtown Tijuana. And really, really good place. Great service, really clean. It actually looked like an upscale five-star restaurant, and I was very impressed. Just the way that the CPI treated me there and everybody else that was, there's probably about 20 guys mix of men and women that were getting surgery done. The treatment all was great. The transportation was great. The hospital was phenomenal. The food was really good. Like I say, it felt like being in the States, but in Tijuana. Go figure, man. I was mind blown by it.
But Mike, that's something you need to look into whenever you get to the point where your body starts breaking down a little bit, is the stem cells. No joke.
I was going to say, I had a fighter, former champion. I was talking with him, and he said he had gotten some, and he said maybe he didn't give it enough time to set in, because I was like, did it help with your pains or anything? Because, I definitely have some pains. Like when I was on Joe Rogan talking about my fucking shoulder or whatever, I was thinking about stem cells. But then that fighter was like, I don't think I gave it enough time to set in. But Tito's saying that, how long did it take for you to feel like it made a difference? Was it right away, or did you wait a couple weeks?
Well, a huge thing, and of course, being retired for the last almost 2 years now, I like to drink, so I like to have fun, have cocktails. I'm not going to go out getting hammered all the time, but I like to have cocktails, glass of wine, dinner, and so forth. You can't drink at all, zero. Literally, when I got there on Sunday, I had to stop drinking. So I haven't drank in 3 weeks at all, and I think the recovery makes it a lot quicker. But when I got surgery done, literally when I came out of the hospital, I woke up out of being under anesthesia. I had zero pain in my neck. I had a little pain in my elbow just because they filled it up so much with stem cells that the swelling had to go down a little bit. I didn't have much problems at all. I flew 2 days later, no problem at all on the flight. I got home probably about 4 days in. I was like, you know what, I'm going to a restaurant and go work. Of course, I wiped down tables. I'm the owner, but I need to show by great leadership of, you follow me, this is how we're going to do it. But probably like 2 days in, my elbow started flaring up a little bit. So I took a couple days off, and that was the weekend. So the next 4 days, I didn't have anything to do, and I just laid in bed, let my body heal. That's the biggest thing, I think. Let your body heal. Let your body absorb the stem cells so it actually rebuild the cells that have been broken down from the damage that I've took, at least through my career. And having 4 neck surgeries and still competing, it was good. Wow. But at the end of the day, when I got hit in the car accident, actually it hurt me. So I had to rebuild those cells, and I had numbness going down my left hand. Like these 3 fingers was completely numb, tingly, itchy all the time. And when I got out of surgery, it was actually cold. And the doctor was like, well, that's actually all your cells reattaching together, and you're going to start having feeling. Now I have no itchiness. I have complete feeling in my hand. In the back of my neck, behind my shoulder blades, it was very numb from the surgeries I had. And now I could feel it. Like there's complete feeling, no numbness at all, no tingling sensation down my arms. It works, but you got to make sure the process, you got to believe in the process, and no heavyweight training, no sparring, no wrestling, nobody pulling on your neck. You just got to let the stuff settle in and work in your body.
So that fighter was definitely right. He didn't give it enough time. He probably got back to training. I just got to wait until I'm done fighting. They want me to fight everybody right now, so I'll just have to wait on it and get it when
you've been beating people down, dog. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, brother.
360. That's just like one of those things.
That means a lot, man.
Hell yeah, I'm proud of you, man. I went through it myself from 2005 until 2011 of just losing every fight. And having my last fight, not last fight, but one of my last fights with Ryan Bader. And just, I think when you surround yourself with good people, positive people, it changes a fighter's mentality. I was with my ex at the time, and she was sucking me dry, man. Literally, I just, the negative reinforcements every single day, just, it hindered my ability to compete at the level I know I could as a champion. And being with Amber now for the last 12 years, my life is great. I'm thankful every single day, man. It's nice to have a positive environment, a positive reinforcement in your life. And she's my dog, and she has my back. She's there for me anytime I need it. And every fighter needs that. They need to support at home. They need to support in their gyms. They need support all the way around. Because if you have one little niche in your armor or a little kink in your armor, that stuff will shine through mentally. Because at the end of the day, all of us fighters, we're all the same. We all train the same. We all bust our ass. It's just the fighter, the mentality that you step in when it steps inside the cage or in the ring in your case. If you're positive and things are going to go well, and you turned every rock behind you and you made sure that you did the work, you're going to do very, very well. But when you start thinking about what's happening at my house, what's going on with my kids, what's going on with this, what's going on with that, and that's what a fighter's not supposed to be. Have that mentality, have that mindset. And what really is having a positive mindset, doing the work, and just believing in yourself. Because if you do have that self-doubt for a second, that's the stuff that'll eat you alive. It's kind of that old saying. You got the angel and the devil on your shoulders. Mm-hmm. Which one wins? It's the one you feed, and the one you feed that emotion. And I try to, God bless, I try to feed that angel every single time. And yeah, that devil comes there every once in a while questioning me, always try to pull me down, try to suck me down. But I believe I let the one who wins, the one I feed, and that's the great man up above us, looking over us. Jesus Christ is great. And our God looks over us. I'm very thankful.
Amen, brother.
It's interesting you say that too. You said like on the dot 11 years you've been with Amber, right? And how toxic the last relationship was. And when you were on that losing skid, you're one of the few fighters that actually like went from the UFC and you went out on a 3-fight win streak.
Yeah.
It shows right there, like right when you lost one fight since that era you're talking about. And it was against Liam McGarry. I mean, he was good as fuck,
Yeah, he was the champ at the time.
Fights.
He just caught me in an awkward position, and it was just one of those things that, you learn from it. I didn't get submitted prior to that. I don't think, until my first fight in the UFC 13, May 30th, 1997. I got caught in a guillotine. All the other ones I've always pulled out of. He just caught me in an awkward reverse triangle. And shit happens, man. It's one of those things, you get beat down, you get knocked out the horse, you got to get up and lick your wounds and restart again.
Bill, it's really an honor to have you on here and talk with you. I have some trivia coming up, but before I get to this trivia list that I have, I do want to ask you what it's like, because I'm a huge fan of Jet Li, and I was looking at Cradle to the Grave 2 earlier, and I was what's it like being a fighter? And they had you and Randy Couture. They had these fighters on there, and then you got to let little old Jet Li punch on you, and he's like, is he actually? I know he's got to be an amazing martial artist, and he has actual capabilities. But like, what's it like when you're an actual cage fighter champion, and then they're like, "Hey, come over here and do this movie, and we're gonna beat on you a little bit."
Well, I think it shows how badass we truly are. Because let me tell you, I eat that kid alive, no problem, literally. They told us to slow down. We were too damn fast. Me and Chuck, we just ran through a little spar session, and when we got done with it, all the audience were like, "Were you guys really fighting?" That's how close it was. We just took, take 5% on the punches. I mean, not even throwing anything, but throwing it as 100%. Telling us to slow down. We had a fight choreographed, and I was like, "Can we just try something?" Well, Chuck, let's just roll through. Let's just roll through this. Act like we're sparring. We'll do takedowns. We'll do submissions. We'll just run it through. We ran it through, and the producer's like, "I like this." The director's like, "Can we do that again?" I go, "Let's do it again." And like I said, we've been doing this for such a long time. It's something we can do in our sleep. Guys like Jet Li, I have mad respect for him, coming from a wushu or Wu Chang type of fighting style. It's different than our type of fighting style. Our type of fighting style is a street fighting style. But with jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and boxing and wrestling and having all those, man, we're trained killers. Those guys are kind of more for the art and the show of being on television. But they kind of told us to slow down, and I understood it. I watched back when Bruce Lee got into it, and Bruce Lee was one of the greatest mixed martial artists to ever live. They told him to slow down. And so you show pro fighters like us on the camera, you got to slow down because that camera can catch up to you that quick.
Well, that's interesting, though, because Bruce is like a Jet Li. He was more of a movie guy that I knew. I mean, that's probably more your time. You probably knew more about Bruce than I did, but I know him as a movie guy. So it's like to hear that they had to tell him to slow down, maybe Chuck Norris too. But those guys made their movies where they made everybody believe that they were so badass they could do this shit for real, but they didn't fight for no world titles.
Yeah. Well, I think at that time, Bruce too, Lee there was more of just sparring. I know Bruce Lee did a lot of wrestling. He did a lot of jiu-jitsu. Yep. So I know he had the fortitude to be a pro fighter, but why be a pro fighter and making maybe $1,000 to becoming a movie star and making millions and millions and millions of dollars? And that's a guy who I look at Bruce Lee. He's a badass guy.
Different times back then, yeah. When UFC started, you guys are making like $200.
I fought
That's
for free in
crazy.
UFC 13. I was the only UFC fighter in UFC career to ever fight for free, and I did it because I was hungry. I wanted to see how good I could be at it. And at that time, I was in college. I was on a full ride scholarship for wrestling. I told the coach that I wanted to fight. He goes, "Well, you can't get paid any money." And I go, "Can I fight for free?" He goes, "You'd want to?" I go, "Yeah, I want to see how good I am. I'm competitive. I love to compete." So I fought for free, fought twice in one night, and I was hooked, man. Hook, line, and sinker. I was like, all right, I'm going to become a world champion in this. And a year and a half later, became the world champ.
Did they throw
What
you
was,
any
what
money
was your
after
biggest
that?
payday in the UFC? One fight.
It was a little north of $3 million.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was at the end, though. I really fought back. Not fought back. I negotiated back to thought that what I earned to pay. I mean, earned to get paid. I think that was really important to me. But to come to realize I was cutting myself short, I should have asked for more. But it's one in the hand, the other in the fist. I just don't. It is what it is, man. I was happy for what I got. I look back on it now, and I wish I would have got a little more. But I'm not trying to be greedy. But those guys are making $70 million per pay per view, and I was making $3 million. I mean, that doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
You're one of the
I mean,
biggest
there's only
stars back then.
there's only one TV character that I think would actually translate well and probably just beat everybody in UFC, and that's Steven Seagal.
Shut the fuck up.
I won't
Yo,
comment
what a
on that.
badass.
I respect the guy.
What a badass.
For films, yes, you are correct.
Yo, Tito, can I geek out for a second? Ask like a personal, I want to know as a hardcore fan, man. I've been watching this sport for decades. The Chuck Liddell, you and Chuck had one of the best rivalries of all time. I mean, it's right up there with Jones, DC, all that shit. I don't know. Like, how do you feel about that? You guys squashed it, He talked about in the lead up for that fight, or for your first two fights in the UFC, and then the third one was in Golden Boy. But he talked a lot about how he felt like you were cool to him until he said you were hiding behind him the whole time. He was clearing out the division for you to leap forward. And I would just love to hear your side of that because that's history, man.
Okay, well, I'll give you a little history of this. So I was the champion at the time. I fought I fought Evan Tanner. I knocked him out in 30 seconds. Chuck Liddell fought Jeremy Horn. That was for the number one contendership. Jeremy Horn choked out Chuck Liddell. Then Jeremy Horn fought Elvis Sinisek. Elvis Sinisek choked out Jeremy Horn. Elvis Sinisek got the world title fight. Then I ran through the next 2 or 3 fights, and then me and Chuck were supposed to fight each other. And I said, you know what, if we're going to fight each other, let's get paid huge money. He was like, okay. Then Dana gets in his ear, and all of a sudden he becomes a company guy, and he caves in for $150,000. UFC pretty much propaganda my name and just bashed me and bashed me and bashed me and bashed me and forced me into the fight. So I had to take a fight at $150,000 for the fight, as they made over, I think, $40 to $50 million for that fight. It just showed that someone would sell out for money. And I thought Chuck was my friend. I stayed at his house up in San Jose. He came down to Huntington Beach, and I hear some interviews of him saying, "Oh yeah, Tito did put me up in a hotel. He'd come stay on my couch." That was never even an idea of putting people in hotels. We didn't even have enough money to afford a damn fucking hotel for somebody. Him staying on my couch, he had no problem with it. As when I stayed up in his house, I had no problem with it. It was just, that's how friendships are. It's not like I was hiring him to come down as a training partner, strictly only that. I thought he was my friend, And as you watch him knock out Kevin Randleman, him jumping into my arms and raising his fucking hand, and I had the world title around my waist. We were friends, but the UFC turned us against us. And that rivalry, I think that was just fabricated to how the UFC wanted to portray me as the bad guy and Chuck as the good guy to raise him to a high level. And Chuck is a great fighter. I'm not taking anything away from him. He knocked out Randy Couture. He dropped me. He's a great fighter. But at the end of the day, to me, money is not worth a friendship and a family attitude towards each other. That just shows that he's a sellout, man. And it is what it is.
Legend.
Thank you so much. I had to ask that, man. Thank you.
All right, so Josh, quick breakdown. You said there would be something for this trivia earlier. Can you give that breakdown again? Is it for our followers, our subscribers?
I think there's like 8 questions on it. I was like 5 of 8, and we'll do $500. We'll do $1,000 to a charity of your choice.
For those who get it right, or
Yes, get it right, Mike. Not wrong answers. Tito,
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Tito. Okay. We'll give some money to a charity.
Yes.
All right, here we go, Tito. Let's run through this. Thank you, sir. What is the name of Nate Diaz's older brother?
Nate Diaz. Nick.
What's the name of his older brother?
Nick. I know the boys. They do.
Okay. I know. I thought that was
They
an
next
easy one
door.
for you.
They next door. Yeah.
Last week, the UFC had an event at the KFC Center. What state is the KFC Center located?
Kentucky.
Okay, Kentucky. Josh knows all the answers. What is the birth country of UFC champion Dricus du Plessis?
Africa.
But that's the continent.
Oh, come on, my bad. Was it South Africa?
Is that the country?
That's 3. Yeah, he's 3.
That's 3.
3 for 3. He's batting 1,000 right now.
Who did Anderson Silva make his UFC debut against?
Ooh, that was a while ago. God.
Was it Lieben or no?
Yeah, it was Lieben, I think.
Guys,
It was a
he's still
legend.
fucking thinking.
No,
That was Mike's fault. That was Mike's fault.
Actually, at the Hard Rock Casino. I was actually at that fight. That might have been his second fight.
I'll check. I'll double check. I think it was
So
Lieben.
who was the first? Yeah, go ahead and check, Mac. We'll go back to it. What was the cost of UFC pay-per-view in 1993 to the nearest dollar?
I believe it was 1995.
Ooh, and there was no streaming or stealing the pay-per-views back then.
Yeah, there was. We had a black box because we used one.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
It was Chris Lieben.
Okay, what was Chael Sonnen's official UFC nickname?
It's still the same shit. American Gangster, American Wankster.
Or is it Bad Guy? I don't know.
That's
Maybe
the
it is American Gangster.
Huntington Beach bad boy right there. He was the Westland
The
gangster.
Westlake Street Gangster or some shit. Westlake.
Yeah.
I don't know. That guy's all mouth, man. All mouth. No, he hasn't shown shit. All right.
So you're not watching his fight?
That's pretty much it.
So you're
All right.
not paying for to watch him and Anderson box?
Yeah, I want to see if Anderson can do what he did to me. Fucking knock that guy unconscious. I give Anderson respect, man. He knew what he was doing, making me cut 40 pounds in a month to get down to 199. Tried to get me down to 195. I almost killed myself trying to do it. You know, I did it in a month. I took the fight on a short notice, and Anderson's a monster, man. He clipped me with the right hook behind the head, and I've never been unconscious my whole career. And when I looked up at the ref, and the ref's looking over me, he's like, "You all right?" I go, "Oh, fuck."
Damn. Well, that's
Part
boxing.
of the game. If you want to step up and put on lace the gloves, you got to be willing to let that happen. Not let it happen, but that's going to happen one day or another. Like I say, I have a 25-year career. In my last fight, that happened like that. I'll go out of my shield, man. That's the way it is. Yeah, no one better than Anderson Silva, you know.
You handle it like a champion, brother. Last two questions. What was the main event of UFC 133?
133 was main event. Tito Ortiz versus Vladimir Matyshenko. At was it Mandalay Casino in Las Vegas. That was the first pay-per-view that was done in Las Vegas. And it actually went 5 rounds and dominated every round. He was a former Pan Am world champion, and I dominated in wrestling. Nobody thought I could do it, and I dominated him.
I love where that went from you fighting Anderson Silva to you remembering a time you dominated some badass.
I remember all the fights. I remember all the losses. I remember all the wins, and that's just how a competitor is, man. That's how I just have that mentality is I want to correct the mistakes that I did, and the ones that I did do correct, I want to make it even better. And that's how I've always been, man. That's just the way my mentality, that's the way my mind works.
That's the way to be, brother. And last question.
Fight of the night, too, at UFC 133.
Correct. Awesome. That's when they like me.
What state is famous MMA gym American Top Team located?
American Top Team. It's actually in, here in Florida, but it's Coconut Beach.
Coconut Creek, yes.
Yeah, Coconut Creek.
They're the original one, huh?
That counts.
Yeah.
That counts.
Here's the best part is I didn't even have the Superfan wrote these, by the way, and Superfan, those were way too fucking easy, first of all. And then second, we didn't have the answers on the side, so a couple of them sitting here texting Jazz going, I don't know the answers, are they right?
He got them all right. He got them all right.
We run a real organized show here, Tito.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. I'm telling you, man, being a pioneer of the light heavyweight championship, I was the first light heavyweight champion. you got to do your homework, man. I just remember these little small points in my career of just watching this stuff. I'm going, wow, that was awesome. And to be a part of the our history of mixed martial arts, I'm very thankful to be a part of it. And it was from all my great fans to keep supporting me through my losses, even through my wins too. It was just, those are the things that always I held tight to my heart and my mind was the losses, man. Because the losses were ones that either you get up, you wipe yourself off, lick your wounds and keep going, or you stay down and you don't come back. And that's not my vocabulary. That's really not my DNA. I'm not that type of person. When I get knocked down, I'm going to get up, I'm going to brush myself off, and I'm going to keep going. That's the American dream, man. You got to live like that, and I'm going to continue doing it.
Ended the career on 3-fight win streak. Let's
so
go.
$1,000 charity of your choice. Who are we donating to?
Let's do it to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Good one. Good.
Love it.
Love that.
Beautiful.
Love that.
Thank you, guys, man. That's awesome. Wow. Thank you.
Of course, brother.
While we're on that topic, let's just segue that right in. We're not kicking you off. We're still talking, but we have a gift for you, Tito. We obviously have Kanpai Pandas. We have NFT project. This is your personal Tito Ortiz Kanpai Panda. We'll send it to you. You can sell it, keep it, whatever you want to do, but that's worth some money, brother. And there's the bad boy panda right there.
Dope. Boys, thank you so much. That's fucking sick.
Thank you, sir. I mean, damn, what was I gonna say? I was about to say something. Oh yeah, because you brought up the St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
I want to know this real quick. What you think about it, Mike? How closely do you watch the sport now? Are you like still an avid fan and you fucking watch every event? You watch the main events?
I watch the main events. When Clay Guida or was it Nico Price fight? I watch those fights. I watch a lot of wrestlers when they fight. Like Mike Chandler when he fights. Of course, Connor. I mean, the bigger name guys I watch. That Pereira kid's a monster at light heavyweight. Finally, he went up and hit 185. Him cutting so much weight. Now he can show his true strength, and that guy's a monster for sure. But I do watch. I watch. We watch the fights here at my cantina. I buy the pay-per-views now, so we'll be getting the pay-per-view here for the Connor and Chandler fight. But
who do you have?
I have Chandler. Chandler and two. But let me put a little stipulation to this that's really important. If Chandler's sister tries to strike with Connor, I'll take Connor. Yeah. But if Chandler does his wrestling, I mean, Connor should have no chance at all. If he's aggressive and attacks, if he takes kind of a playbook out of what Khabib did to Connor, that's how you beat Connor. Yeah. Get him striking. When he gets to striking, make him overreach. After you overreach, you get the takedown. Then wrist ride. After you wrist ride, stuff him in the fence and just smash him. That's how you beat Connor. If you stand up and do points with him, you're not going to win a good fight. You're not going to win that fight. Connor's super, super slick. His range and his direction of misleading people is really, really good. And he's a really great counterpuncher. Just watch him fight. I got to respect the guy, man. He's learned a lot in such a quick amount of time. And he's one of the greatest. I would say the greatest, but one of. And not just as a fighter, but just as a well-rounded guy of financially being a businessman and a fighter.
Mike, can I ask one quick question for you, Tito, real quick? Mike, you cool? Is that cool? All right.
You go ahead.
I'm gonna do it quick.
Question. Here it comes. Here it comes. Has trouble spitting questions out.
I'm long-winded, Tito.
Me
My
too.
bad.
I'm right with you, bro. It's all right.
All right. So you were like the bad guy of the UFC, whether that was the UFC's marketing ploy with you or just who you were. The Huntington Beach bad boy. Who would you say is like the second coming of you in the UFC right now?
The second coming is probably Colby Covington. The only reason I say that because he kind of sticks down the guidelines of not talking about a person's family. He does well at that. He does get a little too much of talking about a person's country. Those have been my three rules that when I was talking trash, I never talk about a person's country, never talk about a person's family, and I never lied about a person. I always kept that honest and truthful. And it was never talking shit on the fans. It was always talking strictly about the fighter, and that was it. I was trying to do mental warfare. I mean, that was what it was all about. Mental warfare is something that fighters kind of either they dig into it and they take it very heartful and disrespectful, or they just kind of shine it on. And I think Chuck understood that when we fought because he just shined it all the time and never got under his skin.
You got under Shamrock's skin, that's for sure.
Okay, now when you guys talk about rivalry, that, in my opinion, is one of the best rivalries ever because that was true as can be. We hated each other. Literally.
When he kicked that chair, bro, I was like, his shin hurts after that.
I got under his skin. He was so easy. But I mean, once again, man, he at the time when he was fighting, he was a juice guy. So the guys that do steroids, their emotions get the best of them at all times. I'm honest. I'm sorry. I'm honest. I'm
No,
honest.
no, dude. This is an honest show. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry, brother. I had to ask that.
Well, I want to know what you meant because I have 2 babies now. So I want to know what you meant when you said, I want to outlive my children 100%.
Okay, well, let's talk about this because this is actually good. So at that time, I mean, I was going through some stress shit. I was going through a lot of stuff. And sometimes when I speak, my mind gets moving too fast before my mouth can talk. And I do not want to outlive my children. That was what I meant to say. And like I say, when people don't understand, when you're doing interviews and you're talking and it's live and you're just speaking right off the cusp, it's a little different. Sometimes you say things you're not meant to say, and not sometimes. Now I've learned to kind of settle myself down, and think about what I say before I say it. And it's a learning process, man. It's called life. That was a mistake on my part, but it was just.
It wasn't bad though. I loved it because I got these 2 toddlers that damn they're annoying, and I'm just I hope I can be 85 and still taking care of them. You know what I mean? So
that's our job as parents, man. Keep that nuclear family. It's really important. Our kids need some guidance, especially in society right now. If you have the young kids, as I did with my kids didn't have cell phones until they're 14 years old. Stephen Jobs said that back in, I believe it was in not 19, maybe like 2006, 7. He talked about that children shouldn't have this automatic gratification of a cell phone, of getting information quickly. It really warps their mind because they think that's the way life is. That you get automatic gratification super fast, and that's not how life is, man. You got to work for it. You got to work hard. You got to bust your ass to make it happen. And my kids actually got their cell phones when they're 14. They lasted for what, Journey? How long your phone last? About 4 months, maybe. Then we took them back away because the grades started dropping. So make it a goal for them to have their phones, not something that they're mandatory they deserve. And that's important, man. Super important.
Or at least if you're going to give them, cell phones, like use it to cheat and get better grades. Like if
you're not cheating, you're not trying. No, I want my kids to be super smart. They're really smart kids. I mean, their education really important because my parents never push education on me at all. Not having a father and my mother telling me just show up to school, son, please. I'm thankful I got into wrestling because wrestling saved my life. And people know, of course, my true name is Jacob. And in the Bible, Jacob wrestled against an angel. The angel beat him and saved his life. Well, wrestling saved my life, man. I'm very thankful. Good man above is looking over me at all times. I'm very thankful of it.
Amen, brother.
Let's go.
This has been a very inspirational episode. I got a lot of insight, and I feel like a stronger fighter and a better father now after speaking with you. I don't want to suck up too much, but you the man, Tito.
Mike, let me tell you, man, being a parent is the hardest thing in the world, bro. And it gets harder the older they get. The harder. It'll be hard until they're 18 when they're out on their own. But it is hard. Me and my wife, Amber, we have troubles with our kids. At least what, Journey, Jesse? Twice a week? 3 times a week? Sometimes every single day? And they try to test us, and I get it. I was that kid, but I didn't have parents. My mom put a house over my head, put clothes on my back. But I didn't have the love that we try to give our kids, the respect values we try to give our kids. And it's important. If you want to see the parent, look at the children. And as go back to the very beginning of our interview, same thing with our president, same exact situation, man. You want to see the father, look at the kids. And
this is what I love most about this show is that I feel like we get another side of the fighters that you don't necessarily get to see on other shows because everybody just wants to talk about fighting and accolades and all the other stuff. But like all the stuff that Tito's given us, and even though he's equating it to fighting, right? Because that's what changed his life path. It's all life stuff, right? Like all the stuff that Tito learned to now own a restaurant, right? The hard work, the dedication, the being able to get back,
be
up
elected as a politician,
that's life shit, right? That's like it's relatable to every single person on the planet, no matter whether they're a fighter or not. And I like to be able to like hear that from people that reach the pinnacle of the fight career and kind of hear a little bit behind the scenes, right? Of like what made them successful now in the afterlife and everything else.
Well, I mean, and another thing you guys are asking a question of what am I doing now? Another thing I'm actually working on right now is called Tito Ortiz versus Sea Monsters. And I know a lot of my fans know I'm an avid fisherman. I love to fish. And let me tell you, I'm a better fisherman than I'm a fighter through my whole career. And I'm actually doing our production. We just produced our first one last week. So it's through editing right now. But Tito Ortiz versus Sea Monsters. I go around the world and trying to catch the biggest species of that fish in the area. Which our last episode we did Goliath grouper. We went 7 for 12, and the biggest one was almost 320 pounds. It was a monster. But I mean, they get up to 8 foot, 800 pounds. So I lost 2, got broke off, and they were in the 400 to 500 pound range. But like I said, I'm gonna go around the world, and this will be one of the series that I'm gonna be working on. I'm excited because I want to do this for like 15 years. You know, you guys got an opportunity to see River Monsters with Dwayne Wade. Well, this is Tito Ortiz versus Sea Monsters. We'll go around the world trying to catch the biggest fish possible of that species.
Do you wear your flame shorts while you're fishing, though? Please tell me yes.
Damn!
You should have, bro.
So 2 now. Thank you.
Next time. Next time.
Hey, we're gonna be watching the series in like episode 7. Tito's wearing the flame shirts.
Oh no, episode 2, I'm wearing the flames.
And I'm going to sit there like, yeah, let's go.
I put my sponsors on it, my fishing sponsors.
There you go.
Okay, I'll ask all you guys because every dude ever seems to be a fisherman. Am I the only one that doesn't like fishing? I'm from New Mexico, so we don't really have water here. You have the arroyos. But, like, if you want to go sit by the river and drink beer, just say that. Like, I don't understand why fishing's fun, but I'm obsessed with shows like River Monsters. What is the appeal of fishing?
Because you've never caught one. You never caught.
Yes, I have. I speared one time.
Well, I think it's just the idea of a challenge of seeing if you get the biggest fish. As we just had day before yesterday, the guy who's never fished in the ocean before, that's actually one of the directors of the producer of our business. And he was like, I never been saltwater fishing there before. I put him on his first 2 Goliath grouper. And he's like, dude, I don't want to leave. I go, we got to get home before it gets dark. But I think it's just the competitive side of me and I think fighters in general of getting the biggest fish and having that fight against saltwater fish. Because freshwater, I did it as a kid, and it's boring because you get the biggest 10, 15 pounds. Well, my biggest fish I've got is bluefin tuna, and it was 426 pounds.
Ooh, you got a bluefin?
Yeah. You guys watch Wicked Tuna?
Yes.
TJ on the hot tuna. I fished with him, and I got a 93-inch bluefin tuna. It was one of the best fights I think I've had. Not the longest, but because I put the hammer to him really quick. I've watched the show, almost every single episode. And he's like, well, when I went out to fish with him, he goes, you know how to fish bluefin? I go, yeah, that's why I'm here. And I won my first one in 51 minutes, 93 inches, 426 pounds. He's like, Tito, you know how to fish. I go, told you I'm a better fisherman than I'm a fighter.
How much did that sell for? Like, did you sell it or what?
Yeah, I think he made like $9,000 off of it.
Fuck's sake, dude. I'm obsessed with those shows. So that's the answer. I need to go deep water, like saltwater fishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was going to be my answer, Mac, was I love to go out deep sea fishing, right? If I can hit Dorado, if I can hit tuna, if I can hit marlin, sailfish, whatever, and troll. I mean, look, you could waste 3 days doing it, right? You're just trolling, not get shit. It's part of it.
Yeah.
But when you catch that big fish, it's fucking exhilarating. Drawing something off the bottom fishing, it's not that exciting. Big fish fishing is exciting.
And I think a lot of it too, because I do a lot of it with veterans. When I was in Southern California, we take them out on a 80-foot boat. We take them out for 2 days. Being on the water is just something that invigorates your mind, just clears your mind completely. There's no cell phone, there's no computer, there's no life around you. You're on the water with Mother Nature itself. It's just exhilarating of just having that feeling in your mind going, wow, this is nice. The ocean's so nice. It's so peaceful. There's something about water that helps the mind just relax and get away from the bullshit that society tries to push down our throat.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah. Okay, well, so Mike, so you said 400 or 500 pound tuna, Bags and Mike. What's the biggest fish you guys ever caught?
I'll tell you what. I went on a deep sea. I did 2. It was 5 or 6 hours in one day. I went back with the boat and then I went back out. And the second one was a mistake because I was like, damn, we got around hours 8 or 9. I'm like, all right, man, I'm ready to go back. But I had a big bushel of fish that these guys helped me catch because I put the cast out, nothing, over and over again. And then the guys who was working the boat, they were like, here, let me try. And they put one out and they'll give me the rod, and I'd get a fish every time they casted that bitch out. So then I had this bushel of fish, and we go back, and the restaurant Cajun deep fried them things. Oh my God, it was so good, man. It was so good. So just the tasting it and being out there on the boat, I get what he's talking about. A little bit of freedom. But it's time consuming. I do not have the patience for it. Not yet. I will get there maybe. Other than that, I like to eat some good fresh fish.
Okay, so a bushel of fish.
I don't know if you call it a bushel.
I know, but I love that. I'm gonna call it
Whatever
that.
you want to, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta understand. I've been fishing since I've been 6. I mean, I worked on boats when I was 11. I was a deckhand when I was 16. I did longline fishing from 16 to 21. Every winter, every summer, I would do long range boats in San Diego, Long Beach, San Pedro, in California. So fishing was something that was not only a hobby, but it was work. And at the same time, I got better and better at it. And there's that competitive side of me of just trying to be the best I possibly can. And I got good at it because I loved it. It was just exciting. I mean, I think that's the only thing I'll wake up at 4 a.m. to go do, and that's fishing. I mean, like just recently, my cell phone, I set the alarm for PM instead of AM. I woke up 15 minutes before my alarm even went off. I was like, oh, automatic, let's go fishing.
Let's go.
I thought you were kind of blowing smoke when you were like, I'm a better fisherman than I am a fighter. But if you started at 6 years old, you're not playing around.
No, it's funny because we rented a boat here in Naples, and we went out, and the skipper, I didn't know him at all, which is the captain of the boat, and I had my own rods. He's like, wow, you bring your own rods. They're all conventional. I go, yeah, that's all I fish conventional. Because they all fish spinning rods because people tangle with conventional reels. That's actually open face reel. And I started tying my own knots. He's like, wow, you know what you're doing. Yeah, I got my own tackle. I got my own stuff. He's like, huh, I like this. He's like trying to help me fight a fish. I'm like, get off me, man. I got this. Get off me. He's like, most of everybody else, I got to help. I'm like, well, I'm not like everybody
Have you done Costa Rica yet, Tito?
What's
That's
that?
where I had my best fishing. Costa Rica.
Yeah, I used to go down there once a year to go fish with the yellowfin and sailfish down there. It's phenomenal. It's nice, man. It's really good down there. Food's good. The people are good. And the fishing's like extraordinary.
So whenever you get a chance, I live in a beach town called Destin, Florida. It's on the Northwest Panhandle.
I've been there a bunch of times.
Okay, yeah. We're called the world's luckiest fishing village because we're the closest in the continental U.S. to the deep water shelf.
Yeah, you guys got about 100,000 sharks up there right now.
Yeah, they get the big duskies, big bulls, hammers. Yeah, I fished up there for the amberjack out there. It was fun. It was cool. One of my friends actually was 7th group, Green Beret. They have their squadron up there, and I've been up there to go shoot stuff and go fish. Great time.
Yeah, well, holler at me when you're in next time. We'll go fishing because we've got what he's saying. We've got 2 Air Force bases literally right where we live, but it's one of the largest commercial fishing fleets besides like Alaska.
Yeah, it's fun down there. Or up there for me now.
All right, Tito, much appreciation, brother. You've given us more than enough time, man. I don't want to hold you. I know you got stuff to do. You probably got to get back to the restaurant and clean some more tables.
Yeah, no, actually, they're doing the floor right now, so I'm good. I'm actually going to go eat some lunch. I haven't eaten right now. I'm starving. Good. But I thank you guys. And all the listeners, guys, thank you guys for support. Hopefully I answered some questions. Hope you guys gave you some like information of stuff you guys didn't know about me. You know, the picture that was painted of UFC, it was good in the beginning, but not good at the end. And it is what it is behind me now. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, of course, Tito Ortiz IG. Twitter, or excuse me, X now, Tito Ortiz. Thank you guys for support. Overdogs Podcast, thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you so much, man. I'm honored.
Hey, are you going out to the fight on the 21st?
UFC now.
No, bare knuckle.
Oh, it's gonna be in at the Hard Rock.
Yeah, at the Hard Rock. Yeah, here in June.
I might. I haven't spoken with them yet. Because my schedule is very tied up, but I might go to that. I saw the one dude, El Gallo, was talking with the champion who actually he had a good fight with HD when I fought in Salt Lake City, and he surprised me, and I do like what that guy said because the dude had his beer in the car. I don't know if he was in the passenger seat. He was in the front seat. He was drinking a beer. He's got a kid in the back, and he's like, yeah, you great example there, man. And, so I look forward to watching that fight. I don't know if I'll be there live, man. The TV is very good way to watch. You don't miss nothing, and then there's not a bunch of people hounding you. But if they pay me, I'll go.
All right, well, hopefully they pay you because I'll be at the event. You know,
I'd love to say hello to you for sure. And I just looked up Tito's Cantina, about 3 hours from me, so I'm gonna get there one day.
Come in, man. Meals on me, cocktails on me. If you're drinking, I got you, man. That'd be awesome for you to see.
When are you drinking again? And that's when I'll come. When we can drink together.
I got 2.5 months. I got 2.5 more months. It's like another camp. I'm in a fight camp. So I'm actually training, so it's good.
That's how long. I'm never getting stem cells. I can't go that long.
Yeah, you can, man. It's all in the mind. Like my fights, man, I do for 4 months. I wouldn't drink. I wouldn't at all.
No, I hear you. When you're in pain every day, you can do it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's how I'm willing to sacrifice, man. Sacrifice got me to this point, so I'm willing to sacrifice a little more time.
Hall of Fame
thank
for
you,
a reason.
Tito. Thank you for your time, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys, man. God bless. You guys have a
wisely.
great day. All your listeners, thank you once again.
All right, I'm gonna handle business and say that was a banger episode, and I'm here with my friends Mike Perry, Platinum Mike Perry, and Ice Bags. Follow us on social media, Overdogs Podcast. Look out for Overdogs Bet. We only get the best guests up in this bitch. Peace.
Thanks for watching.
This podcast episode was brought to you by Overdogs Bet. Sign up today for early beta access and free play at overdogsbet.com/beta.